Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a heavyweight Page League matchup on this beautiful Friday afternoon in the low 60s, mostly cloudy but very warm, and a great day for baseball, and one of the nicest days we've had in Bethlehem in quite some time. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alec Esk, and I'll be flying with you solo today in this weekend opener between the Lehigh Mountain Hawks and the Lafayette Leopards. So the historic rivalry does not happen just on the football field, but also happens on the diamond. And we will be bringing you three of the four games this weekend. I, today will be Lehigh comes in at 11-11, while Lafayette has had a bit of a rough start to the year at 4-20. Now for Lehigh, they've had some of their younger players have really stepped up this year, including Liam O'Hearn, who just got Patriot Player of the Week after throwing a complete game shutout against the Army Black Knights, who, if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, have been the best team in the Patriot League for the last 6 years and have won the last six Patriot League championships. So not bad to start the year for O'Hearn after seeing relatively little time last year on the field. Now, Lehigh's pitching has been as solid this year with O'Hearn as well as Cole Lehman, I would the local kid who has been Lehigh's ace the past 2 years, and who could potentially get drafted this year due to how high his velo has been. He tops out 97, 98, and also has a lot of great off speed pitches in there as well. We won't see him today, but you'll see him. You'll see him either game one or game two. You'll see him game one, I believe, this weekend. And and both teams coming out on the field as we are probably moments away from getting from lineups being announced. And Lehigh has been off to an up and down start this year. They currently sit at 1-3 in the Patriot League after dropping both their games here last week against Holy Cross, but then splitting against Army after that great start by O'Hearn, which really steadied the ship, I think, for this Mountain Hawks team. And this year, the Patriot League is pretty wide open, and Lehigh is going to look to take advantage. And today, starting for the Mountain Hawks, Julio Ermangati, who only thrown 15 innings, but has been a little shaky to start off, singing with a 7.2 ERA. And starting for the Leopards will be number 35 Joseph Scamitz, who this year has been not so. He's been a little shaky to start off too, pitching 29 and third innings so far with a 6.75 ERA. So this could potentially be a bit of a shootout today, considering who's starting on the mound for both teams, and as both coaches shake hands on at home plate, and the umpires for today's game at home plate: Jeffrey Kleiner, at first base Thurman Berry, and at third base Corey Kogan. And today, we'll be introducing our starting lineups. Enjoy.
Batting first, pitcher number 2, Ethan Swidler. Batting second at second base, number 9, Alex Barris. Batting third, the center fielder, number 7, Easton Brenner. Batting fourth at third base, number 16, Michael Zarillo. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 5, Matt Clella. Batting sixth in right field, number 12, Bodie Grieve. Batting seventh in left field, number 24, Jack Mislin. Batting eighth at first base, number 18, Liam Ebbs. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 8, Teddy Cashman. Starting on the mound for the Leopards is number 35, Joe Skapinitz. The Leopards are led by head coach A.J. Miller. He's assisted by Ryan Luke, Scott Boches, and Alex Armando Diaz. Yeah! And now, the starters for the Lehigh Mountain Hawks. this time, we ask that you please rise if able and kindly remove your hats as we honor the United States of America, its freedoms, and those who protect them with the playing of our national anthem.
Our national anthem, ladies and gentlemen, as we are just moments from getting underway in this rivalry and Patriot League matchup. Armanjati will take his warm up tosses, and and the Leopards will be taking their first at bat very shortly. And starting laps for the Lafayette Leopards, playing batting leadoff number 2 catcher Ethan Swidler, batting second number 9 second baseman Alex Barrist, batting third number 7 playing center field Easton Brenner, batting cleanup number 16 playing third base Michael Zarillo, batting fifth batting fifth number 5 shortstop Matt Colella, batting sixth number 12 right fielder Bode Grieve, batting seventh number 24 left fielder Jack Mislin, batting eighth number 18 first baseman Liam Ebbs, batting ninth number 8 designated hitter Teddy Cashman, and starting for them is number 35 Joseph Scampens. And then for Lehigh, batting first number 1 center fielder Jake Whitlinger, batting second number 2 shortstop Don Patrizzi, batting third number 3 second baseman Brian Cochran, batting cleanup number 29 first baseman Aiden Quinn, batting fifth number 5 catcher Owen Whalewander, batting sixth number 27 designated hitter Edwin Betanzas, batting seventh number 15 playing third base Rafael Rogers, batting eighth number 23 left fielder Ryan Davis, batting ninth number 16 right fielder Bobby Kleckner, and starting from Alex number 25 Julio Ermanjati. And today you'll only be hearing my voice on the mic. Hopefully, I can keep you entertained for most of this game. As now Swidler now Swidler is making his way up to the plate, and here we go. He will then he will then set the batter's box for himself. Armanjati looks good to go. He gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and now will be just high for ball 1. We are underway here from Walker Field in beautiful Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, on Goodman campus at Lehigh University. 1-0 now to Swidler. The pitch, and that's crushed deep into left center field. Back, and it'll get down and roll towards the wall. Swidler will pull into second base, and he will get there with a stand-up double. And a good start for the Leopards as Ethan Swidler ripped one deep into left field to get a leadoff double for the Leopards, and now Ryan scoring position for them. And Swidler coming the year was batting .352 with a 1.011 OPS. Not bad, and by not bad, that's really good. And now that'll bring up Alex Barris, who Barris is also done pretty well as well, batting .289 with a 713 OPS as 368 slugging percentage. Here's the pitch, and that's he popped foul. Quinn giving chase, but that'll go into the pavilion. 0-1 now to Barris. No, because this is a very important series for them in order to keep in the Patriot League race. Armanjati gets his sign, looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be in there on the inside corner for a called strike 0-2. Good count now here for Armanjati, who already is in a little bit of a pickle right now. 0-2 pitch. Here it is. And that's what he lined. And a leaping grab by the second baseman, Ryan Cochran. Throw back to second's not in time to pick off Swither, but what a play from the stud second baseman Cochran. And that most definitely saved a run. And that'll bring up Easton Brenner. Brenner having a very solid year, batting .355 with a 1.024 OPS, and that's going to be down away for ball one. So the Leopards have a really solid top of their lineup, and Zerillo also really good with a 778 OPS with a .429 slugging percentage. Here's a 1-0, and that's going to be popped foul. 1-1 now. Armanjati, very lot of movement movement. He'll look back at second again. Here's the 1-1, and that's going to be down the dirt 2-1. So Armanjati has Armanjati is for most of these pitches he's been putting for most of these at bats he's been putting the pitches in the strike zone. Just haven't been hit. Here's a 2-1, and that's gonna be down away 3-1. May I spoke a little too soon. And on deck it's going to be Mike Cirillo, the senior third baseman for the Leopards. 3-1 now. Armanjati looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be down away for ball four. So now there's a first and second for the Leopards with one out, and Lafayette already creating some traffic on the base paths. Now Zero, the first lefty we've seen today, or rather the first left-handed batter we've seen today for the Leopards. As Armanjati is gonna have to work around some traffic on the base pass. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be popped foul 0-1. Now again, Lehigh baseball, their starting pitching this year has been very, very good with Lehman, O'Hearn, but the issue is the bullpen, they've been a little shaky to start off the year. Here's the 0-1. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be inside 1-1. Fastball just missed there. Yeah, I can hear the Leopards chirping from all the way over here in the press box. Here's the 1-1 now, and that's going to be in there for a called strike 1-2. A chance now. Armanjati 1 strike away from picking up a huge strikeout here. 1-2 now is Zerillo. Armanjati looks at his wristband to get his sign. He looks back at Swidler at second. 1-2. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be fouled back. Remains 1-2, and that goes toward the benches behind me. Now again, I did say this. There'd be a decent amount of offense today, as both these pitchers have high ERAs, and both these teams have been playing. At least both teams have been playing pretty well offensively. Here's the 1-2, and that's gonna be a line drive in the center field. Whitlinger giving chase. He won't get there. It's gonna get down. He'll throw it in. The runner will hold it. Swither will hold it third, and now the Leopards with bases loaded with one out. And now I'll bring up number 5. Mac Colella. I'm sorry. Treasy saying a quick word to Armanjati. And now Lafayette with the runners with bases loaded, one out, and again not a great spot you want to be in already if you're Armanjati. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be outside 1-0. Now you hear the Leopards getting really loud. 1-0 now. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a fly ball in the right center field. It's pretty deep. Going back is Eckler. That'll get home a run. Swither will score. Moving to third is Brenner, and the Leopards already with a 1-0 lead. Now that I bring up Bodie Grieve the right fielder who currently is batting .237, so hasn't got off to a great start this year. And now Ermanjati here looking to limit the damage. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be in there for a called strike 0-1 on the fastball. Now Lehigh are gonna be playing from behind here, as Leopards have already gotten out to a fast offensive start with 2 hits and a walk. Here's the 0-1, and that's gonna be in the dart ball one that gets by the catcher, and Swither will score. And advancing to second now is Colella, and now put the Leopards up 2-0. A pitch that bounced 2 feet in front of the plate, and that gets by Whale Wander, and that allows Swither to score, and now Lehigh gonna be working back from an even bigger hole. 1-1 now. Here's the pitch to Grieve, and that's gonna be low for ball 2. Ermanjati really struggling out there right now, as he seems to have lost his command, and Leopard they're seeing him pretty well right now. Here's the 2-1, and that's gonna be a check swing, and he went around there. So that'll be a strike. 2-2 now, and now Ermanjati looking to get this inning without allowing any further damage. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a called strike 3. A fastball right to the outside corner, and that'll prevent more damage in the top of the first. But the Leopards do get to sack fly and a wild pitch. 2-0 Lafayette as we go to the bottom of the first. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the first inning, Lehigh down 2-0 to Lafayette after a sac fly and a wild pitch. And now I'll bring up Jake Whitlinger for the Mountain Hawks, the speedy center fielder who's pretty close right now to breaking the all-time steals record in Mountain Hawk history. Currently needs 8 to tie, 9 to break it. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be in there for a called strike 0-1 from Scampens. Now, Whitlinger has been off to a better start this year offensively, batting .273 with a .455 slugging percentage. Here's the 0-1, and that's going to be fouled back 0-2. On deck will be Don Patrice, who's batting .197 to start off the year with a .262 slugging percentage. Scampins gets his sign. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be just outside, 1-2. One and two now. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be foul back again. Remains 1-2. And it goes right by a few leopards over in the dugout. There's a lot of them, and there's also a lot of Mountain Hawks in their dugout too. There's less rules in the Major League Baseball as time people you can have on the roster at a time. 1-2 again. Here's the pitch, and that's a high fly ball to right center field. That's back, track, wall, and that ball is off the top of the wall. Whitlinger going to second, and he will pull up there. And a leadoff double for the center fielder puts the Mountain Hawks in a good position. At first, I didn't think that ball was going to carry as far as it did. I know he got a pretty good beat on it. I know he hit that ball pretty hard. I just didn't realize how hard, and he's definitely improved it. Yeah, you can tell he's definitely improved his swing and definitely put some muscle there with that. Opposite field fly ball off the wall, and now it gives Don Bertuzzi a chance to drive in a run. Here's the pitch to Bertuzzi. He squares the bunt. He does. It's fouled off into the mitt. It actually lands right at the home plate umpire's feet. So 1 out of Bertuzzi, and I don't know if Whitlinger will try and steal here, but again, it always is a distraction to the pitcher. 0-1 now. Here's the pitch to Bertuzzi again. That's gonna be a ground ball to short. Whitlinger will go to third. Bertuzzi will go, and now throw to first is in time. Oh wait, they're actually telling Whitlinger to go back to second. Or actually, wait, was it? Or wait, I think it's catcher's interference. So it's catcher's interference, so that'll give Bertuzzi first base, and that'll be an error on Swidler. Snell runners are first and second, no outs for Ryan Cochran. Here's a pitch from Scampitz, and that's going to be low and away, ball 1. So Mountain Hawks now creating some offense of their own. And now there's a little trouble with the scoreboard here. I think that surprised everyone a little bit. Here's a 1-0 to Cochran, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field. That's going to get down, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Whitlinger rounding third. He will score. Bertuzzi rounding second. Third, he will score. And it's a 2-run double for Ryan Cochran. And the game's all tied up at 2. What an at bat. What a play from Ryan Cochran. And all right, the Mountain Hawks have wiped the deficit off the board. And Lehigh already with an offensive explosion here in the bottom of the first inning. And now Swither would talk to Scampit, says he has not been at his sharpest thus far. Not necessarily wild, but when he's playing pitches in the zone, the Mountain Hawks are getting a hold of him, and that's exactly what's happening there. So that'll bring up Aiden Quinn, who's had a great start to the year, batting .314 with 500 slugging percentage. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's gonna be a fly ball on the left. That'll go foul and it'll go into the bullpen. Or I'm sorry, it'll go into the batting cages. The batting cages are behind the bullpen. So 1 now to Quinn with a chance to give the Mountain Hawks the lead here as now they have a runner scoring position with no outs. Here's the 0-1 to Quinn, and that's going to be outside, ball 1. And that gets by Swidler, and Cochran will advance to third. So that'll be a pass ball on Swidler there, and now runner on third with no outs. And again, 4, 5, 6 from Alex is their murderer's row. They have Aiden Quinn, Owen Wellwander, and Edwin Batansis, all of whom have a slugging percentage of over .450 and are batting above 300. Here's the 1-1. That's gonna be a chopper right back to the pitcher. Scampit so fire to first in time. Cochran not able to advance, and that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the first. And now some California love here. As I'll bring up the catcher, Owen Whalewander, who has been arguably the Mount's best hitter this year, especially with Justin Butler dealing with an injury. He's really stepped up for them. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a pop. That's gonna be popped foul. 0-1. All right, Huntsy on the first pitch there. You can literally eye crowd getting really emphatic right now. 0-1 now to Whale Wander. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be in there for a called strike 0-2 with a fastball in the inside corner. So now Whale Wander already down the count, and Scampitz has so far been firing a lot of strikes. 0-2. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be down away 1-2. And again, Mountain Hawks have again started off pretty good offensively. 1-2 now to Whale Wander. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be way outside 2-2. And a nice stop there by Swither from preventing that ball getting back to the backstop again. 2-2 now to Whale Wander. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be ground ball foul. So remain 2-2. Head coach of Mount Hawks is Sean Leary in his 30th season with Lehigh. Been here quite a long time, and AJ Miller for Lafayette in his 3rd season with the Leopards. Here's a 2-2, and that's gonna be a ground ball to second. Cochran won't advance, and that'll be the second out of the first inning. I'm a little surprised he didn't at least try and advance because that ball took quite a long time to get to the second baseman, Alex Barrist. Now bring up Edward Betances, who's batting .286 on the year. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be near his head. Just missed, actually, 1-0. And on deck will be Rafael Rogers. Here's the one on the Betances, and that's going to be in the dirt ball too. And a good hitters count right now for Betances. At this point, probably should be hunting fastball here in the strike zone. Here's a 2-0, and that's going to be in the dirt ball 3. I'm getting the feeling that Scampitz does not want to pitch to Betances right now. Righty on lefty matchup. Been hitting very well to start off the year. I don't blame him. And Betances is actually on Rookie of the Year once this year as well. Rookie of the Week once this year for the Mountain Hawks too, and that'll be in there for called strike 3-1. 3-1 now. Here's the pitch, Betances, and that's gonna be a fly ball in the left field. That'll go foul, and that'll be a full count. Got a decent pitch to hit there, just a little late on it. Three and two now again. 3-2 now, Betances. Scampitz looking to limit the damage. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a swing on a miss on a pitch that tied him up. And that'll do it for the Mountain first inning. So the Mountain Hawks able to drive in 2 and tie the game, but cannot drive Cochran across the plate despite being on third base with no outs. 2-2 heading to the top of the second. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Penning in the top of the second, tied 2-2 after a Ryan Cochran two-run double. So both teams have had good offensive starts. And again, we were expecting a high-scoring game today, and that first pitch, remember, Jai is outside, 1-0. And now I'll bring up number 24, Jake Mislin for the Leopards. Mislin currently batting .256 on the air with a .674 OPS. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. 1-1 now on an off-speed pitch from Ermanjadi. One and one now. Here's the pitch from Ermanjadi, and that's going to be down. That's going to be outside again. 2-1 is he's had a little bit of command issues to start off the second inning. Two and one. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be in there for a call strike this time. 2-2 on with a fastball. And now Ermanjadi looking to pick up his first strikeout of the day. Here's the 2-2, and that's going to be foul back. Will remain 2-2. And again, both teams are working pretty good at bats to start off this game. 2-2 now. Here's the pitch, and now actually hits Mislin, and he'll be awarded a base. And Ermanjadi not happy with himself, as now the Leopards leadoff man is aboard on first with no outs. And that'll bring up Liam Ebbs, the freshman for the Leopards. Ebbs currently batting 140 on the year with a .528 OPS, so not the greatest start for him. He scores to bunt. That'll be a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Interesting idea. Try again. Maybe we're thinking if we can get the runner in scoring position here, even if it's one out, that's still pretty. We like our chances here. 0-1 now. He scores a bunt again, and that's be on the outside corner again. 0-2. Ebbs pulled back both times despite both pitches being in the strike zone. Well, so let's see if the Leopards let's see if the Leopards tell him to bunt again, or if they have him swing away. 0-2 now to Ebbs. Here's the pitch, and that'll be a called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. On strike 3 on an off-speed pitch to the outside corner again. One away here on the top of the second. Yeah. And I'll bring up Teddy Cashman now for Lafayette. Teddy Cashman is batting .209 with a .784 OPS. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's going to be on the outside corner again for a call strike. 0-1. Might as well keep throwing there because Leopards don't seem like swinging on the when pitches are on the outside corner. And now we're gonna have an official timeout here as quick one as Quinn looks like he needed to tie his shoelace, but looks like we're good to go now. 0-1 now to Cashman. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. And he bobbles it. He'll go to first, and that's going to be late. So that'll be an error on Don Patrizzi, and now runners first and second with no outs. So unfortunate from now on, because that as they would have for sure had one there, potentially even two, and that's gonna up Ethan Swidler with runners first and second, who already doubled off the wall to start off the day. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's going to be in there for a call strike 0-1 with an off-speed pitch. 1-1 now to Swidler. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be on the inside corner. Fastball this time, 0-2. Nice mix-up of location there by Ermanjadi, as now he already has the leadoff man in an 0-2 hole. 0-2 now Swidler. Here's the pitch, And that's going to be a called strike 3. A dot of a fastball right to the outside corner. And that'll be the second out here in the top of the second. So Urban Jotty already with 3 strikeouts in this game. He's all of a sudden in the second inning. He's seems like he's been getting into more of a groove, as now he's 1 out away from getting out of this jam, with Bears coming up. First pitch to him, and that's going to be low for ball 1. So again, there's been a lot of traffic on the base pass thus far in this game for Urban Jotty. 1-0. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball at third, and it's going to get by the third baseman, and now bring in 1. Rounding third, but holding there will be Cashman, and that'll be a 2-out RBI double for Ethan Swither, and that's going to put the Leopards up 3-2. So unfortunate turn of events as the third baseman Rafael Rogers was playing very shallow, hugging the line, but looks like that gamble backfired, as that got by him, and that allowed a run to score, and now will be number 7, Easton Brenner. Brenner today. He's currently nothing for nothing with a walk today. Now I'll be down away 2-0 now. So Urban Jotty now struggling a little bit with runners on second and third and 2 outs. Looking to get out of this thing without allowing any further damage. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball third. Rogers, he'll fire to first in time, and that'll do it for the top of the second. But the Leopards do strike again. On an RBI double by Ethan Swidler. 2 doubles for him already today, as we had the bottom of the second inning. Lafayette up 3-2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the second inning, Lafayette up 3-2 after an RBI double by Ethan Swither, who's had a very good day for them so far. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and an RBI. And that'll bring up Rafael Rogers, who's batting .234 on the year. First pitch to him is going to be just outside 1-0. And now once again looking to strike back after Leopards tacked on another on the second inning. That pitch is fouled back 1-1. Rogers is trying to get on base here. Currently has a 319 slugging percentage, and that second pitch, that's it high in the air but shallow. 3 players converging on it, and the right fielder Bode Grieve will settle under it to make the catch. One gone here in the bottom of the second, and that'll bring up Ryan Davis, the junior, batting .250 for the Alex so far this year. Davis will step in. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's going to be a big swing and miss there, 0-1, trying to tie the game up right there. 0-1 now. Here's the pitch from Scampitz, and that's going to be on the inside corner, 0-2. So Scampitz so far loading up the strike zone. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. And down 3 pitches is Ryan Davis, 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. Great walk-up song here for Bobby Kleckner. He is batting 111 on the year. First pitch to him, that's going to be in there for a called strike, 0-1. Pitching on the inside corner, and right now it's working. 0-1 now. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be fouled back, 0-2. Little late there. 0-2. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high, ball 1. A little high and outside. So they're trying to frame it to try and get the call third strike, but it was not successful. 1-2 now. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. And down goes Kleckner in a 1-2-3 inning for Joe Scampitz. So no runs, no hits, 2 strikeouts with the top of the 3rd inning. Lafayette up 3-2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the 3rd inning, as Andrade trying to settle in here again, trying to settle in against the Lafayette Leopards. And now that'll bring up Zerillo, and the first pitch to him is outside 1-0. Zerillo currently 1-for-1 with a single. Here's the pitch to him, and that's gonna be on the outside corner, 1-1. Andrade 1-1 now. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a high fly ball in the center field, but shallow. Whitlinger, he'll sell under it. And he'll make the catch. One going in the top of the 3rd. Now we have Matt Colella, who's currently 0-for-1 on the day with an RBI. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside 1-0. So a good first step here for Andrade as he was able to get the leadoff man, which he had not been able to do the first 2 innings. And that's a fly ball into right field. Drifting over is Kleckner in the foul ground, and he'll make the catch. Two quick outs here in the top of the 3rd. The wind took that ball. I thought that was a curve. I thought that was absolutely going to be a fair ball, but it was that ball was going to drift foul, and that was not an easy catch that Kleckler made. And then I'll bring up Matt Colella. First pitch to him, and that's going to be in there for a called strike 0-1. Or actually, my apologies. It'll be Bo Grieve up. He's Bo Grieve currently out for one on the day, and that's a ground ball short. Patrizzi has it. He'll fire to first in time, and a 1-2-3 inning here for Mangiati. So no runs, no hits, 2 flyouts, 1 ground out. Play the bottom of the third. Lafayette up 3-2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 3-2 Lafayette going the bottom of the third inning, and Zal bring up, and now they'll bring up now it'll be Jake Whitlinger leading off the bottom of the third inning, who's currently 1 for 1 with a double. Here's the pitch from Scampitz, and that's going to be in there for a strike 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be fouled back 0-2. Oh, 2 to Whitlinger. Here's the pitch. And that'll be a ground ball to second. Throw to first, really in there in plenty of time, and one gone here in the bottom of the third. And that'll bring up Don Patrizzi, who reached on catcher's interference his last time up. Mount Hawks have not been able to generate much offense since that first inning. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be on the outside corner, 0-1. On 1 to Patrizzi. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be ripped down the left field line, but that's going to be just foul. A little out in front of that one, and that'll bring the count to 0-2 again. 0-2 now. Here's the pitch to Patrizzi. And that'll be just outside 1-2. Good eye there from Don Patrizzi. 1-2 now to him. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball between third and short. Third baseman has it. Fires to first just in time. A nice play there from Mike Zerillo. And now 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. And now that'll bring up Ryan Cochran, who had the 2-run double in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch to Cochran, and that'll be in there for call strike 0-1. On 1. And that'll be a high fly ball in the right field. Going back, track, wall, and that's get over the right fielder's head and bounce off the wall. Cochran hanging for second. He'll stop there. 2-out double for Ryan Cochran, and he has had a bit of a power surge today. And now a chance for Aiden Quinn to tie up this game. Bode Grieve got turned around on that, and he had a shot at it, but he took the incorrect angle on it and went over his head. Now Aiden Quinn 0 for 1 today with a ground out, looking to drive in Cochran here. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be way outside 1-0. 1-1, 1-0 now to Aiden Quinn. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be there for called strike 1-1. 1-1 now to Quinn. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a blooper and shot left field, and that's gonna get down for a base hit. Cochran rounding third, heading for home, and there will be no throw, and it'll be a 2-out RBI single for Aiden Quinn, and that'll tie up the game at 3. Nice play there. Nice job there from Aiden Quinn as that's a big run for the Mountain Hawks. Now tie up this ball game. Now bring up Olin Whalewater, who's off one also today with a ground out. That first pitch to him, that's gonna be a big swing. That's gonna be a foul ball. Actually, I thought he hit it to the backstop. I didn't see it first. So on one now to Whalewater. Here's the pitch to Whalewater. And that's going to be in there for a call strike 0-2. 0-2 now to Whalewater. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive to right field, and that will be caught. Diving grab in right field by Bode Grieve to end the bottom of the third. And he probably just saved a run there too. But the Mountain Hawks did do damage. They tie back up this ball game with an RBI single from Aiden Quinn. 3-3 in the top of the 4th inning. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the fourth inning, all tied up at 3 after an RBI single by Aiden Quinn in the bottom of the third. And that'll bring up Jack Michelin, who is currently as a walk on the day so far. Actually, I'm sorry, hit by pitch. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be cranked in the deep left field. But all of a sudden, going and making the sliding grab, it is Ryan Davis for the first out.
Now batting.
And that's a quick first out here now for Manjati, which will bring up number 18, Liam Ebbs, who struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be just outside 1-0. 1-0 now to Liam Ebbs. Here's the pitch to Merman Jotty, and that's going to be in there on the outside corner at 1-1. Norman Jotty tends to work pretty quick. 1-1. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a check swing, and he went around there. 1-2 on a pitch down away. 1-2 now to Liam Ebbs. Armanjati gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a line drive foul right by AJ Miller at third base for Lafayette. That was a close call there. And the count remains 1-2 now to Liam Ebbs. 1-2. Here's the pitch, and that's a ground ball right back up the middle. Now be a base hit into center field. So the freshman on with a 1-out single. And that'll now bring up Teddy Cashman. He is currently 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch from Manjati, and that's going to be way outside, 1-0. Manjati gets his sign again as Ebbs takes his lead off first. Here's the pitch, and that's way outside again, 2-0. So Manjati losing his arm slide a little bit here on these past two pitches. And Ethan Swither, the dangerous leadoff man for Lafayette, on deck. Here's a 2-0, and that's going to be ripped in the right center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So Ebbs, he will take the turn, but he'll hold at second base. Now again, Ryer's reversing second with 1 out. And again, I'll bring up Ethan Swither, who has seen Manjati pretty well today. Lafayette with 5 hits on the day so far, and 2 of them from Swidler. So Alex, we're looking at turn double play here, and they're gonna try and at least contain Swidler here. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's gonna be outside 1-0. 1-0 now, Swidler. Here's the pitch to Manjati, and that's going to be a high fly ball into deep left field, going back to the track to the wall. This is Davis, and Davis running around, and he'll make the catch. He has his back up against the wall, and he turned around and ran 20 feet to his right to make that catch. And that was a close call there for Manjati, and now 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Swither just got under that pitch. And now I'll bring up Alex Barrist, who's 1 for 2 on the day, with an RBI double. First pitch to him, and now I'll be in there for a called strike, 0-1. 0-1 now to Manjati. Now for Manjati, here's the pitch to Barrist, and that's down away 1-1. And the Leopards have done pretty well with runner in scoring position today. coming up with some pretty clutch, with some pretty good hits here. 1-1 now to Barrist. Looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be in the dirt. 2-1. Two and one now to Barrist as Ermanjai has fallen behind. Here's a 2-1, and that's giving the dirt again. 3-1. And he does not look. And if he walks me, I'll load the bases here for Ethan Brenner, who is currently 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. 3-1 now to Barrist. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be in there for Kulchuk on the inside corner. Full count, 3-2. And all right, big moment here in this game as is a full count with runners of first and second and 2 outs to the Leopards with a chance to take back the lead. Ermanjai gets his sign. Looks back at second. Here's the pitch. And that is a called strike 3 on the inside corner. What a dot of a fastball there from Ermanjai as he gets out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. Let's the bottom of the fourth. All tied up at 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the fourth inning, all tied up at 3 as Lehigh looking to take the lead with Edwin Betanzas coming up to the plate. He struck out his first time up. Both these pitchers have, for the most part, after a rough start into this game, both pitchers have, after rough first innings, each pitchers have gone 2 innings and only get 1 run, which is pretty good all things considered. Here's the 1-0 to Betanzas, and that's going to be a check swing, and he went around there 1-1. So again, Betanzas has had a nice start to his freshman year. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be a ground ball foul. Will be 1-2. So far, Ermanjai has gone 4 innings, given up 3 runs, 2 earned. Here's the 1-2. And that'll be a swing and a miss, a pitch down the dirt. Good off speech there from Scampitz, and that'll be Betanzas' second strikeout of the day. That'll be the first time in the bottom of the fourth. And that'll bring up Bobby Kleckner, or actually, I'm sorry, it's Rafael Rogers. I really need to read this lineup sheet a little better. Here's the first pitch, and that's going to be cranked in the right center field. That is deep, and now split the gap and roll all the way to the wall. Ryan, he will pull up at second base with a stand-up double, and Rafael Rogers gets a hold of one, and that'll put a runner in scoring position for the Mountain Hawks. And I'll bring up Ryan Davis for the Mountain Hawks. As Gambits looks back at second, first pitch, and that's going to be low for ball 1. Davis currently 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be way inside, 2-0. On deck will be Bobby Kleckner, who struck out his first time up. 2-0 now to Davis in a good count. Here's the pitch. He squares the bunt. He pulls it back, and that'll be down low, 3-0. 3-0 now to Davis. Gambits gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be on the inside corner for a called strike, 3-1. 3-1 now to Davis. Gambits looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a ground ball foul. We'll go to 3-2. A nice play by Pat Knight over at first base to make a nice one-handed grab there to get on that ground ball. Unfortunately, we don't get to keep baseballs at this level. So now, but anyways, it'll be a full count now to Davis. Scampitz looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be on the inside corner for a called strike 3. Thought he might have had a walk for a second, but just clipped the inside corner. And now, when you hear Michael Jackson, you know who's up, and that would be Bobby Kleckner. He's again 0 for 1 also today with a strikeout. Looking to come up with a 2-out knock here. Here's the pitch to him. He actually squares the bunt. He bunts it down the third base line, but it'll roll foul. Not a bad idea. Just didn't execute on it. So now it'll be 0-1 to Kleckner. Kleckner. He'll step out of the batter's box for a moment to gather himself. Now he steps back in. 0-1 now to him. Scampitz again looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a blooper, and that's going to be on the infield, and that'll be caught by the third baseman Zarillo, and that'll end the bottom of the 4th inning. So a 1-0 from Ryan Cochran. Unfortunately, has not resulted in anything for the Mountain Hawks. As you go at the top of the 5th inning in a 3-3 ball game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, top of the 5th inning in a 3-3 ball game between the Lafayette Leopards and Lehigh Mountain Hawks. And after scoring 4 runs combined in the first inning, there's only been 2 runs since, and 2 runs since, and innings 2 through 4. Azermajai back on the mound, and the first pitch will be in there for a called strike to number 7, Easton Brenner. Brenner 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Here's the one from Ermanjadi, and that'll be outside 1-1. And that throw from Whale goes right by Ermanjadi is, and Cochran will have to retrieve and give it and underhand toss it back to him. One and one now to Brenner. Here's the pitch. And that'll be a line drive right center field, and it will fall in for base hits. And a leadoff single there for Easton Brenner, and Lafayette once again with their leadoff man on.
Now batting Leopards, Michael Zerillo.
Now I bring up Mike Zerillo. And Zerillo is currently 1 for 2 on the day. He's 1 for 2 on with a single, and now Pat and I will go out to talk to Ermanjadi, probably buying some time as there is activity in the bullpen. Yeah, I think hoping to get another inning out of him before they have to get their bullpen arms up, because again, this is a 4-game series, and actually that'll be it for Ermanjadi. His day is done. So Lehigh making a call making a call to the pen here in the top of this 5th inning, and coming in will be can't see just yet. But Mount Knox will be already dipping into their bullpen, which has struggled a lot this year, and it will be being checked by the umpire will be number 32, Marcus Danchinson, who has been great in relief for most of his Mount Knox career, and he will look to hold the Leopards at bay as he will probably go multiple innings in this outing. So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We're on first, no outs here in the top of the 5th. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 3-3 on the top of the 5th. Brenner on first with no outs after Lehigh now giving the baseball to Marcus Danchinson. Danchinson has been a solid pitcher for Lehigh for the last 2-3 years. And the first pitch will be down away. And now up with Mike Zerillo. And Zerillo this year currently has actually struggled a little this year with a 6.53 ERA starting for the Mountain Hawks. Kind of the bullpen usually helps for him. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be down the dirt 2-0. So starting with a little bit with his command to start off. 2-0. Danchinson, he looks back at Brenner at first. Here's the pitch to Zerillo, and that's going to be a ground ball foul. A little early on all speed pitch there. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of baseball activity, especially since opening day was yesterday for most major league teams. My team, the Philadelphia Phillies, still come back victory over the Nationals in extra innings. Here's a 2-1, and that's going to be a fly ball out of center field. It's shallow, but playable for Whitlinger, who will make the catch for the first out. And now that'll bring up Matt Colella. So again, Colella with he's 0 for 2 today with an RBI. First pitch to him, and that's gonna be on the inside corner for a called strike. Anderson does have a lively fastball. 2-1, 0-1 now. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be fouled back 0-2. Now Danchinson, after throwing 2 balls, has started loading up the strike zone here, and has been making these Lafayette hitters a little uncomfortable. 0-2 now here to Colella. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be inside ball 1. Oh, and 1-2 now to Colella. Looks back better at first. Here's the pitch, and that's a ground ball to third. Actually, a short Patrizzi backhand, and he backhands, and he can't, and he won't have a play. So an infield single there, for Colella, and that's now puts Merza first and second with 1 out. And that'll bring up Bodie Grieve. Bodie Grieve. Danchinson, he'll get his sign. Looks back to Brenner at second. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a line drive, a ground ball at second. This could be 2. Cochran, Patrizzi at first. Patrizzi to Cochran, over to first to Quinn is Cochran, and that'll be a 5-4-3 double play. So Alex, get out of a jam here as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. All tied at 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 5th inning. All tied at 3 right now, as Jake Whitlinger will lead off for the Mountain Hawks. Whitlinger currently 1 for 2 on the day with a double. First pitch to him, and he will rip at it, and he'll hit it foul. So 1 now here at Whitlinger. Danchinson able to clean up, able to do some cleanup on aisle 4, and now clothesline Armanjati. Here's the 1-1, and that's to be outside 2-1. So Armanjati's line is pitching. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned with 3 strikeouts. So not a bad day there for the sophomore starter. Here's the pitch, and Whitlinger way in front of that as he swings and misses at it. Expecting a fastball, and he got off speed from Scampets. Here's the 1-2, and that's gonna be a pop up in a shallow right field. Actually, that's it pretty deep. But sailing under is the right fielder Grieve, who'll make the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. There must be some wind out there that's pushing these balls. That's pushing these balls so far in the outfield because at first I thought that ball was gonna be a shallow pop up, but it got almost to the warning track. So now up is Don Patrizzi for the Mountain Hawks. First pitch to him, and that's gonna be down the dirt 1-0. Here's the 1-0 to Patrizzi. Here's the pitch from Scampitz. And that's a swing and a miss from Patrizzi. Get waved and missed an off-speed pitch on the outside corner. So 1-1 now here. 1-1. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a line drive in left field. And that's gonna get down for a base hit, and that'll drop in front of Mislin, who will get in time and will be forced to hold Patrizzi at first. But 1-out single there for the shortstop, as Brian Cochran, who's seen Scampitz pretty well today. And Cochran, who is a bit of a power bat with actually he's hit the ball pretty hard, but yet there's no home runs on the year. He actually squares the bunny. He does. Goes right to Scampitz. Scampitz, he'll throw to first, and it'll be just in time. Interesting decision there from Scampitz, from Cochran to bunt there, but but the sacrifice is successful. Now Patrizzi in scoring position with Aiden Quinn, but again, Cochran's 2 for 2 today with 2 doubles and 2 hard hit doubles. Interesting call there to try and bunt there. Maybe he was trying to get on. Maybe he was trying to bunt to get on base, but again, interesting call there. So now I bring up Aiden Quinn with 2 outs and Patrizzi on second. Here's the first pitch, and that's gonna be a foul tip. 0-1. Now 0-1 now to Quinn. Here's the pitch from Scampitz, and that's gonna be in there for a call strike. 0-2 now. So now again, Aiden Quinn with a big spot with 2 outs with runners scoring position. Let's see if he can come with another hit again. Here's the 0-2, and that's gonna be fouled off of himself. That might have stung a little bit. And Quinn now up again. And Quinn now with a count, now an 0-2 count. Now an 0-2 counts. Scampitz gets his sign, looks back at second at Patrizzi. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be way outside 1-2. There is currently no activity in the Lafayette bullpen, so this is going to be his inning. 1-2 now to Quinn. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a swing and a miss. I pitched down the dirt, now on the bottom of the 5th inning. So 1 hit, 1 runner left in scoring position, 1 strikeout here for Scampitz. Well, at the top of the 6th inning in a 3-3 ball game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the 6th inning, 3-3 ball game. As both teams, their pitching has seemed to settle in. Not good, not as much scoring as I would have thought to start off, but again after the first two after the first inning, both teams really seemed to settle in. So that'll bring up Jake Mislin, and that pitch will miss 1-0. And Mislin on the day is 0 for 1 with hit by pitch. Oh, and 1-0 to him, and that's be a ground ball foul, 1-1. 1-1 out of Mislin uh, as Dangerson gets set. Here's the pitch, and that's be a foul ball, and he was way early on that pitch. Look again, expecting fastball on off-speed pitch. So again, both these teams seem to be seeing a lot of fastballs thus far. 1-2 now to 1-2 now to Mislin. Here's a pitch from Dangerson. Swing and a miss. That'll be kicked by Mislin, and he'll be called out. So that'll be a strikeout for Marcus Dangerson on one of the weirder plays you'll probably see this year. And that'll bring up Liam Ebbs. So again, Mislin, after he struck out, the ball hit the dirt, which means you could try and run it out to first base. He kicked the ball while he's out of the batter's box, which is why he was called out. And actually, even if so, here's the first pitch to Ebbs. That's on the outside corner for a called strike. Even if it hits you and you swing and miss on a third strike, you're automatically out, no matter what. So again, Ebbs 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Next pitch to him, and that's gonna be a little pop up right to Cochran at second base. And that'll be the second out of the 6th inning. And again, that'll bring up Teddy Cashman. This is the 7, 8, and 9 power lineup here for the Leopards. Here's the first pitch to Cashman. That's gonna be a ground ball right to second, and Cochran, who's getting a lot of action. Throw to first is in time, and there's a quick top of the 6th inning. So no runs, no hits, 1 strikeout with the bottom of the sixth in a 3-3 game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we had the bottom of the 6th inning in a 3-3 ball game, and Marcus Dancherson's been so far in the first 2 innings he's come in, it's been lights out. As Owen Whalewander will come up, who's currently 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch to him, and that's gonna be outside for ball 1. 1-0 to him. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be in there for a called strike 1-1. 1-1 now. Scampitz gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be outside 2-1. So Wellwander looking to get on the start of the inning, and on deck is On deck is Edwin Betances, who's over 2 today, also with 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be outside 3-1. Again, no activity. As there's some activity, as it looks like there's some pitchers starting to get loose. 3-1 now to Whale Wander. Here's the pitch from Scampitz, and that's gonna be a line drive in right field. Now fall for a base hit. So on Whale Wander on with leadoff single, as Mount Hawks are looking to get things going with once again for their offense. And that'll bring up and actually now we have a pinch hitter. So coming in for Edwin Betances will be Tristan Crawford. And now it looks like there will be a meeting on the mound. And it looks like there will be no pitching change here, but looks like they're trying to calm Scampitz down as Lafayette gets some of the relievers warmed up. It's starting to get a little chilly out here, so I think they obviously want to get warmed up sooner rather than later. And again, decently long meeting here. And it looks like meeting's over. And that's the second mound visit the Lafayette's used today. And again, Tristan Crawford now up for the Mountain Hawks. Currently on the seat. Currently he is batting 161 the year. Here's the first pitch, and that's gonna be a line drive to right field. That land fair. It'll be just foul. Almost just a tad late on that, and if that ball got down, that was trouble. So now 0-1 to Crawford, who's currently struggled a little bit on the year. Again, batting 161 with a 567 OPS. Hasn't gotten too many at bats. 31. Here's the 0-1, and that's gonna be a high fly ball on the right center field. Going back, track, wall, and that ball is caught in center field by Easton Brenner with a leaping catch at the wall. Man, what again that might have been a game-saving play for Leopards there, and for a second that ball, I thought the ball was going to get out. And that'll bring up Rafael Rogers now. So Rogers currently 1 for 2 on the day with a double. First pitch to him, and that's going to be on the inside corner for a called strike. So some nice defense here from Leopard's outfield. 0-1 now to Rogers. Well, Wander goes. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Throw second is not in time. So now Barnes score position with 1 out for the Mountain Hawks. Oh and 2 now. Here's the pitch to Rogers, and that's gonna be a ground ball foul. Remaining 0-2. Getting some encouragement there from the Mountain Hawk dugout. 0-2 now to Rafael Rogers. Scampitz gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be low, ball 1. One and 2 now to Rogers. Looking to drive in the go-ahead run for the Mountain Hawks. Scampitz looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's going to hit. That's going to hit Rogers, and that'll put Rogers on first, second with 1 out now. So Alex now has some traffic on the base paths, and looks like Leopards are going to stick with Scampitz here to face Ryan Davis. And Davis has not seen Scampitz particularly well today. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's going to be high for ball one. And you can hear the crowd really getting into it right now. Really want this one. Everyone really wants this one on the Lehigh side, on both sides, actually. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be there for call strike 1-1. Nice off-speed pitch there from Scampitz. 1-1 now. Here's the pitch. Here's the pitch to Davis, and that's going to be popped back behind me, actually. If I really wanted to, I could go run and get that ball and get a souvenir. But again, I can't leave my post, and I can't keep the ball. So 1-2 now to here to Davis. Whale Wander and Rogers take their leads. Scampitz looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's the ground ball foul. Early on that is Davis. 1-2 now. Scampitz gets his sign, looks back at second. Here's the pitch to Davis, and that's going to be high 2-2. And on deck will be Bobby Kleckner, the Mound Hawks. He's currently 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the 2-2, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. And Davis strikes out for the third time today. There's now there are 2 outs here at the bottom of the 6th. And now we'll have Bobby Kleckner, who will also try and look to give the Mound Hawks the lead here. Big spot here for the freshman. Scampitz looks back at second. Here's the first pitch to Kleckner. He squares the bunt. He does. It's up the third base line, and it will roll foul. Not almost got done there, and it would have been an easy infield single if it had stayed fair, but it does not. So it'll be 0-1 to Kleckner. And on deck is Owen Whale Wanders. So I think my guess is Scampitz will absolutely try and he's gonna have to pitch to Kleckner here because you now want to face Whittlinger in this situation. 0-1 now here to Kleckner. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a swing and a foul tip. 0-2. So at the very least, if he doesn't get the job done here, it'll clear the deck and it'll bring up 1, 2, and 3 for the Mound Hawks next inning. 0-2 now to Kleckner, and as the Leopards dugout gets loud, here's the pitch, and that'll be way inside, ball 1. Kleckner trying to get back in this count as he quickly went down 0-2. 1-2 now. Scampitz looking to try and get out of this and log a quality start. Here's the 1-2, and that'll be low, ball 2 in the dirt on an off-speed pitch. Bit of an exciting one here today, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of everything. 2-2 now here to Kleckner. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a check swing to go around. It's a called strike 3 anyways. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 6th inning. So the Mound Hawks could not drive in a run. One hit by pitch, 2 runners stranded. Led at the top of the 7th, 3-3 in a 3-3 ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, 3-3 ball game is in the top of the 7th inning. Marcus Danchenson still on the mound for the Mound Hawks, as Joe Scampitz able to get out of a jam in the bottom of the 6th inning, and his day is most likely done. Pitching 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. That first pitch is a called strike to Swidler, who had a deep fly out his last time around. 0-1 now to him. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a fly ball in the right field. Is that gonna drop fair? No, it won't. It'll go foul, and no one will be able to get to it. So it's quickly 0-2 now to Swidler. So again, Swidler has he's had a very nice day so far, and again, one of Lafayette's best hitters. With the position, there's a big hole up the middle for him. 0-2 now to Swidler. Danchenson gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that'll be a fly ball in the right field. This will be easy for Kleckner to get. He'll make the catch in right field. That'll be the first out here on the top of the 7th. Danchenson making quick work of Swidler. Now bring up Alex Barris, who's also had a solid day, 1 for 3 with an RBI with a double and RBI. Here's the pitch. That's a ground ball third, nicely fielded by Rogers, who throws to first in time for the 2nd out. And again, more quick work from Danchenson, and that'll bring up Easton Brenner. Brenner again 1 for 2 today with a walk. That pitches inside 1-0. 1-0 now to Brenner. Here's the pitch from Danchenson. That's going to be on the outside corner for called strike 1-1. Nice off speed there from him. 1-1 now. Here's the pitch. He's going to square the bunt. He'll pull it back, and that's going to be low anyways. 2-1. 2-1 now to Brenner. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be inside 3-1. 3-1 now to Brenner. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be in there for a called strike 3-2 full counts. So Danchenson looking for a 1-2-3 inning right here. 3-2 gets it. He gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that'll be a ground ball through the left side, and that'll be a base hit for Brenner. So 2-out single for him, as Lafayette now is a base runner with 2 outs. And now I'll bring up Mike Cirillo. So a soft base hit there for Brenner, as Lafayette's had a few of those squeakers today have gone through the infield. Danchenson gets his sign, looks back at first. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a high fly ball, deep left field, but that's going to go foul. And Zerillo got a hold of that one, but that ball actually went all the way to the parking lot, but he was a tad too early on it, so now it'll be 0-1. Looking for a first pitch fastball, and he got it. And Zerillo this year, he's now it's 0-1 to Zerillo. Here's the pitch, and that's good way outside 1-1. And Zerillo on the year, he has 3 home runs in the year, so he's got a bit of a power bat. One and one now to Zerillo. Here's the pitch, and that's way outside again. 2-1. Two and one now to Zerillo, as Danchenson looking to get looking to have another scoreless inning. Here's the pitch. That's we pop up on the infield and foul ground. Will it stay in? It looks like it will. And Rogers, he will make a snow cone catch and foul ground. I'll end the top of the 7th. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left stranded. We will stretch here. We will stretch here at Walker Field. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pitching change here for the Leopards as Owen Basso comes in for them as Gambit's day is done, who pitched very well. Pitched 6 innings, gave 3 runs in a quality start. His final line will be with 8 strikeouts. He struck out 8 guys today. Gave up 7 hits and he gave up 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch. Actually, no walks and hit by pitch. So again, solid day for Scampitz as again a pitcher's struggling this year. Now with this start, maybe we're looking to get back on track. So now I bring up Jake Whitlinger up from the Mountain Hawks. Basso with a 7.88 ERA. So again, another struggling pitcher that the Leopards are throwing out there, and Mountain Hawks again looking to create some thunder here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the first pitch from Basso, and that's going to be inside 1-0. Whitlinger, he actually has 4 runs in the year, leads the Mountain Hawks. Here's the 1-0 to him, and that's going to be in there for a call strike 1-1. 1-1 to Whitlinger. Here's the pitch from Basso, and that's going to be in there for a call strike again, 1-2. 1-2 to Whitlinger. After some nice fastballs in the inside corner from Basso. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a pop foul, main 1-2. One and two now. Whitlinger again as he's looking to get leadoff man from the Mountain Hawks, and he's chasing that stolen base record. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be in the dirt, 2-2. One at 2-2 now, Whitlinger. Here's the pitch from Basso, and that'll be in the dirt. Now 3-2. Whitlinger got himself back in the count. Now ahead, and he'll be huge for the Mountain Hawks if they get him on as a leadoff man. Basso gets his sign. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that's a line drive. Playing on a hop by the second baseman who throws to first in time. Unlucky for Whitlinger as he hit the ball hard, but right at the second baseman, Alex Barrist. And that'll be the first time in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll bring up Don Patrizzi for Lehigh, as he is currently 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Don Patrizzi. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's going to be in the dirt, ball 1. Patrizzi has had solid at bats so far. Actually, has gone on base every time he's been up. Actually, no, I'm sorry. He's ground out once. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be a foul ball into the mask of the umpire, who looks like he's okay. And Patrizzi will take a walk out. Yeah, it looks like the umpire is discussing something. And I guess just discussing where it hit, and I guess just making sure that home plate umpire Jeffrey Kleiner is okay. Yeah, a quick conversation. Looks like he is. Not Can't be 1-1 in Patrizzi. Gets his sign. Basso gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a line drive right at the second baseman though. And Barra still fired to first in time for the second out. Barra's playing nice positioning so far in this bottom of the 7th inning, and this guy import looks like it's working. And operator Brian Cochran, who's 2 for 2 on the day with 2 doubles on RBI, with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a sacrifice bunt. Basso gets his sign. Here's the pitch to Cochran. That's gonna be a pop up on the infield. Barris just calling it, and he's gonna get all 3 outs this inning. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 7th. No runs, no hits. Led top the 8th in a 3-3 ball game. Back, ladies and gentlemen. Top the 8th inning, all tied at 3. Don't forget Matt Colella, as Danchinson will be back on the mound for a 4th inning. Very solid 3 innings so far, putting up a donut in terms of runs given up. First pitch to Colella, and that's going to be way high, 1-0. 1-0 now to Colella, who's that's gonna be low, 2-0, and that who's had decent day, 1 for 3 with an RBI. 2-0 now to him. Here's a 2-0, and that's going to be way inside 3-0. So Danchison's starting a little bit with his command to start off. Here's the 3-0, and that's going to be outside ball 4. So Danchinson, 4 straight pitches, and well, Wander clearly see something he didn't like. He needs to go talk go talk to Danchinson to maybe talk about his arm slot, perhaps something. Maybe you saw something that was throwing him off. But anyways, I'll bring up number 12, Bodie Grieve. Grieve currently 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. So Colella now on first base. Danchinson, he'll look him back. He's gonna square to bunt. Actually, the bunt he won't lay it down, but that's a called strike. So good to see him throw a first pitch called strike there. As it looks like that Coach Miller for Lafayette's thinking just get this runner over. Oh, 1 to Grieve, that's in there, and that's gonna be a foul. That's gonna be a foul tip. 0-2 for a foul bunt, I should say. Scoreboard's incorrect, and the home plate umpire is signaling that it's 0-2. So now 0-2 to Grieve. Here's pitch from Danchinson, and that's gonna be a called strike 3 on the inside corner. Nice off speed pitch, and 1 away here in the top of the 8th. So now that'll bring up Jake Mislin. Or I'm sorry, Jack Mislin. So Mislin 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a hit by pitch. Interesting call to try and get him to bunt, trying to get Grieve to bunt up there. Here's the first pitch to Mislin. That's gonna be down away 1-0. Danchinson looks back Colella at first. Here's the 1-0, and that's gonna be way high, and that gets past Whale Wander, and Colella advances second. So pass ball and Whale Wander we'll put Colella in score position with 1 out, and Mislin now is a 2-0 count. And now some activity in the bullpen here for the Mountain Hawks. 2-0 now here to Mislin. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a check swing. Did he go? He did not. So now 3-0 to Mislin, and I'm wondering if he gets the green light here if it's in the strike zone. 3-1 now to 3-0 now to Mislin, and Medention throws a called strike. So now 3-1 to him. Three and one out of Mislin. Danchinson gets his sign, looks back Colella at second. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be in the dirt, ball 4. So now Danchinson struggling a little with his command to start off this inning. And now I'll bring up Liam Ebbs, who is struggling the day. And he now looking to get himself out of a jam. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a ground ball foul 0-1. Nice play by the first base coach there. As he throws back some equipment in the Lafayette dugout and throws the ball back in. So 0-1 now to Ebbs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's good. That's gonna go past Ebbs, and both runners will advance. A big wild pitch there for Danchinson. Is now running in scoring position for Lafayette, second and third with 1 out. Mountain Hawks will now bring now it looks like they'll bring the infield in. And now it looks like Pat and I will go out and talk to him as looks like he's losing his control a little bit. Can't imagine they're going to pull him in the middle of an at bat, but we'll see. Now on deck will be Teddy Cashman, who is also a lefty. Mountain Hawks have currently currently have number 33 Jack Hamilton warming up, the senior right-handed pitcher. So looks like even if Danchin is pulled this inning, it will not be a lefty coming off the Mountain Hawks. So 1-1 now here to Ebbs. Midfield moves in. 1-1 pitch. Here it is, and that's gonna be a pop-up foul, and that's gonna go into the stands. So now count will be 1-2. So a big moment here for both these teams. Let's see if can Danchin get out of this, or will Lafayette be able to drive in a run? 1-2 now. Danchinson gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be in the dirt ball too, and a nice block by Whalewander there to prevent another wild pitch. And if that gets by him, Colella easily scores. 2-2 now to Ebbs. Danchinson gets his sign. Here's the pitch. And that'll be down away ball 3. Full count now to Ebbs. And it looks like Hamilton will be ready if he's asked to come on this inning. 3-2 to Ebbs. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be just outside ball 4. And that'll put Ebbs on and let's see if Coach Sean Leary decides to pull him, and now it looks like they're gonna roll with him. And that'll bring up Teddy Cashman and a big walk for Leopards. That loads the bases with 1 out. Mountain Hawks will play the infield here, just in the lip of the grass. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be low and in, ball 1. And then Danchinson desperately trying to find that control again. 1-0 now to Cashman. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a check swing and a miss. Throw back to third is not in time. So now it's count as 1-1. So now a check swing where Cashman to go around. So that'll now make the count 1-1. Here's the pitch to Cashman. That'll be a swing and a miss, 1-2. One and two now. Looking to get a second out here. Here's the pitch to Cashman. Got him! Swing and a miss on a pitch down away, and that's a huge second out there for Danchinson. And now it'll be Ethan Swindler, the dangerous Lafayette hitter, as Danchinson looking to get out of this unscathed. Danchinson gets his sign. First pitch to Swindler is going to be a ground ball foul, 0-1. And you can feel the tension rising here at Walker Field, and you can feel the excitement and the nervousness from the fans. Against Swindler 1 for 4 on the day. 0-1 now to him. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be just high ball 1. One and one now to Swindler. Swindler looking to give the Leopards the lead here. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a high fly ball deep to left field. Back track wall, Davis. And he makes the catch right up against the fence. Woo, that was a heart stopper right there. But the Mountain Hawks just able to get out of the 8th inning, and Marcus Danchinson able to get out of a big jam there as his day looks like he is done. But a great relief outing there from Danchinson as the Mountain Hawks will come up here in the bottom of the 8th looking to get back the lead. 3-3 ball game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 8th inning. As Lehigh looking to take back the lead, as Aiden Quinn is now up, and that ball is out. That pitch is outside 1-0. Aiden Quinn now. Aiden Quinn currently has an RBI for the Mountain Hawks. One for 3. Here's the 1-0 to him, and that's gonna be outside. Oh, that's gonna be called strike 1-1. Little off the plate there, in my opinion, but borderline, I would say. 1-1 now to Quinn. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be fouled back into the net. 1-2. Owen Whale Wander on deck, and this is again, they're getting close to murderer's row here for the Mountain Hawks. 1-2 now to Quinn. Here's the pitch. Here's the pitch from Russo, or eventually here's the pitch, and that's outside 2-2. Be really big for the Mountain Hawks here if they get a leadoff man on. 2-2. Here's the pitch to Quinn, and that's gonna be a line drive to left, but it'll be caught. A galloping catch there by Mislin, and that'll be the first sign in the bottom of the 8th. Playing pretty shallow there to start off. And it looks like you read the Sky Import correctly, and that resulted in an out. Now I'll bring up Owen Whale Wander. Whale Wander again, who's been probably Lehigh's best hitter, currently 1 for 3 today. First pitch to him, and that's going to be a chopper right back to Russo. He'll run and underhand flip to first in time for the second out. And that'll bring up Tristan Crawford, who hit a deep fly ball to right center field and was robbed by Brenner his last time up. Here's the pitch from Russo from Basso. Pitch from Basso's low 1-0. And again, Lehigh trying again. Both teams a lot of offense start off the game, but the last 5 innings they have not been able to score any runs. 1-0 to Crawford, and that's gonna hit him actually, and that'll put him on first base. And that'll be Rafael Rogers. Looks like a little bit of a hold at first. Another equipment issue is looks like the Crawford was trying to get his gear off. Now I'll bring up Rafael Rogers for the Mountain Hawks, who's 1 for 2 today with a hit by pitch. First pitch to him will be low for ball 1. And on deck is number 23 Ryan Davis, who has had a fairly rough day with 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and a walk. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be a ground ball foul, 1-1. And again, very close game here to start off. It's been an exciting game here to start off this rivalry opener on this Friday afternoon. 1-1 now to Rogers. Here's the pitch from Basso, and that's going to be in the dark ball 2, and it's going to get away from Swidler, and Crawford will advance to second. So wild pitch there for Basso. The Mountain Hawks to the runner scoring position with 2 outs. And a big spot here for the sophomore. Honestly, one run could make or break this game. 2-1 now here to Rogers. Here's the pitch from Basso, And that's going to be down ball 3, and that's going to get away from Swidler again, and Crawford will advance to third. I don't know if I'll call that a wild pitch or a pass ball, but but this at bat, there's Bass has been a little wild. And now Rogers is in a good spot here, a 3-1 count, and wondering if he gets the green light here. Basso gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be at the bottom of the zone, 3-2. So a big pitch here coming from Basso. Can Rogers finally drive a run across the Mountain Hawks? 3-2, full count. Run on third. Here's the pitch, and that's be fouled. Remains 3-2. Three and two now again to Rogers. Basso gets his sign. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a high fly ball, deep left field. Back track wall, and that ball is gone. Did he catch it? Did he catch it? No, it's a home run. Rafael Rogers, a go-ahead shot. Are you kidding me? Lehigh takes the lead on a wall scraper to left field. And the sophomore with his first home run of the year. And what a big one it is. 5-3 Lehigh. At first, we knew it was hit well, but we weren't the left fielder missed and leapt, and at first I thought he may have caught the ball, but it just slipped over, and Lehigh now is a 5-3 lead. Now up is Davis, and a swing and a miss there from him, and that's what you call a game of inches right there. So now 5-3 Lehigh as Davis now up, and that pitch is fouled off 0-2. So again, Rafael Rogers finally breaks the tie. As the guy's looking to pick up this opening win. Here's a pitch. That's a swing and a miss, a high fastball from Basso. That'll do it, but the damage has been done. A clutch 2-ahead go-run shot from Rafael Rogers to put the Mountain Hawks up 5-3. Hanging in the 9th inning. We're coming in for a land, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Back, ladies and gentlemen, top of the 9th here as Marcus Danchinson looking to pick up the win here for the Mountain Hawks. And he needs 3 more outs to pick up this opening series win against the Leopards. And now up is Alex Barris. So 2-3-4 for the Leopards here. Here's pitch from Danchinson. That's in there for a called strike 0-1. And again, just such a clutch home run from Rafael Rogers there. That's gonna be outside 1-1, and he was sitting on a fastball and he got it. And he didn't miss it. So 1-1 here now to Barrist. Danchinson really carrying from Lehigh here. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be low ball 2. Jack Hamilton continues to warm up in the bullpen for the Mountain Hawks. Unless Danchinson gets in trouble, I don't think he's gonna come in. Here's a 2-1 to Barrist, and that pitch is gonna be fouled off. Will be 2-2. And again, Barrist, who's had a decent enough of a day, 1 for 4 with an RBI and double. Here's a 2-2. That's we chop it to third. Rogers has it. He'll fire to first in time for the first out. 1 gone here in the top of the 9th. And now that'll bring up Easton Brenner, who singled his last time up off of Danchinson. A little squeaker through the left side between Rogers and Patrizzi. Here's the pitch to Brenner, and that's going to be in there at the bottom of the zone, 0-1. 0-1 now to Brenner. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off 0-2. So quickly ahead is Danchinson with an 0-2 count. 0-2 now to Brenner. Here's the pitch, and that'll be down ball 1. The fans getting pretty excited there. 1-2 now to Brenner. Here's the pitch from Danchinson. Swing and a miss. Tied him up with a fastball on the inside part of the plate. 2 gone here at the top of the 9th, and 1 more out of the way from picking up a huge win against the Leopards. But staying in his way is number 16, Mike Zerillo. And Zerillo is 1 for 4 today. That pitch is on the outside corner, 0-1. And again, Danchinson really locked down this inning. Here's the 0-1, and that's gonna be a called strike 0-2. So one strike away for Danchinson. One last strike for Lafayette. 0-2 pitch. Danchinson gets inside. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be fouled back. Remains 0-2. And Lehigh again needs. This could be a huge opening win for them. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That bounces a foot in front of the plate. We'll be 1-2 now. One and two now to Zerillo. Danchinson, here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a called strike 3, and that'll do it. Lehigh with a gutsy opening win against the Lafayette Leopards by a final score of 5-3. Player of the game for Lehigh from the Lehigh Sports Broadcasting Club is, as you guessed it, Rafael Rogers with the go-ahead 2-run shot. Marcus Danchinson will get the win for the Mountain Hawks. Owen Bass will get the loss for the Leopards. Lehigh will play 2 games tomorrow. The first game will be broadcasted will be broadcasted, and then the game will also be broadcast on Sunday. What a win for the Mountain Hawks. We will have a post-game interview for you right here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now here with our player of the game, Rafael Rogers. Rafael, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I mean, great one today. So my first question to you is 3-2 count, bottom of the eighth inning, big spot. What was going through your head when you saw Basso throw that pitch?
I mean, just trying to stick to my approach, see the ball, let it get deep. Um, pressure's a big thing, and I think the biggest thing was just trying to calm myself down. Yeah,
All right, and today opening up the weekend with a win over Lafayette as well as a Patriot League win. How big in the larger picture do you think it is for the Mountain Hawks?
I mean, this is obviously a huge win. We got four more or three more the next 2 days, so on from here.
Right. And then finally, how did it feel? How did it feel running the bases after you knew that ball slipped over the wall?
It was awesome. I kind of blacked out for a little bit of it, but there's not a feeling like that. So
I've heard that blackout feeling before. And again, big hit, so very good spot to have that. But anyways, thank you, Rafael, for being here with us today, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow for the first game of the doubleheader. Thank you. Have a great night.